On today's video, I am going to refinish a walnut Art Deco 4-drawer dresser with an attached mirror. You won't see the dresser and mirror together until the very end of the video because I detached them for travel when I picked it up. But coming later in the video, I refinish the mirror and find a surprise hidden behind it. The dresser is part of a set I picked up for $250 on Facebook Marketplace that included a tall boy and a single nightstand. If you're interested, you can check out my redo on the nightstand in a previous video. Furniture like this is so worth the effort it takes to refinish them. The walnut veneer is so unique looking and the furniture construction is heavy and rock solid. So follow along with me on this redo as I bring it back to life, and I will tell you a little bit about its happy ending later on in the video. Enjoy. In a few seconds you will see me change direction and hold my scraper at a slight angle. I do that so I don't destroy where the top meets the edge banding. Just a reminder that you don't have to remove all the finish with the first grit of sandpaper you use. I started with 120 grit and removed most of the finish, but I then moved up to 150, then 220. Let the machine do the work and don't press down hard on the sander. If you follow this advice, you will rarely get swirl marks. I also realized that the veneer on the top of the dresser was much thicker than the sides, so I could start with 120 on the top, whereas the side pieces here I could not because it was much thinner, so I had to be very careful. I did use the, the surf prep sander on it, but I was very gentle and used a very fine grit on it. I am applying a wet cloth to the top of the dresser and just ironing some of the dents out. It will raise the dent, not all of them, but it will raise a lot of them and just make it a lot less noticeable. I very lightly sanded the drawer divider pieces with 220 grit sandpaper. Then I used a stain to go on top because I didn't remove the old finish. I just wanted to add a bit more color and depth to the existing finish, and that's what I'm doing right here. I've started to put the Odie's oil on the side of the dresser. Looks fantastic. Haven't buffed it off yet. It's just sitting there soaking in. I've done both sides. But it's looking good. Nine times out of 10, I will refinish the inside of dresser drawers. This one particularly had a big stain in the corner, which I knew I had to sand to get the stain out. But even when they don't have obvious stains in it, I do like to just fresh them up with a bit of sanding and then apply some oil to it just to make them smell nicer and feel better. Just in case anybody's wondering, I've switched to my larger orbital sander here because the drawer fronts are flat with no corners and the surface area is larger and it does the job quicker. A few of the drawers around the dovetails were coming a little bit loose, so I added a bit of glue and clamped them just to get them a little bit tighter. It worked really well. All the drawers are covered in Odie's oil now, so I'm going to let them dry for about 1.5 to 2 hours, and then I'll buff them all off. I never find anything very interesting in all the old dressers I redo, but stuck in between the mirror and the backboard of this dresser was an old photograph of two young boys in a boat at what looked to be an amusement park. I contacted the lady I bought the dresser from, and she came by and picked up the old photo, which she told me was of her brothers in the 1950s. She was very happy to have it back. Well, here we are once again at the end of another furniture redo. An interesting ending to this story is the lady who bought the Art Deco nightstands liked them so much that she bought the dresser as well. So the dresser and nightstands continue to live their lives together in her new home. If you've lasted this long and made it to the end, please help my channel grow by tapping on the subscribe button below. I'm trying my best to release a new video every second week. I appreciate you for dropping by, enjoy the results, and I'll catch you next time.